they wanted to test how good your technical knowledge is, and it was basic programming questions based on different languages, C, Java, and some web development questions as well. And to top it off, they added a programming question as well. It is basic, a small code itself. You can code in any language you like.
Hi everyone, welcome to EdYoda Alumni Talks, and this is your host Rishabh Chatterjee. Today we have a very special guest here with us, which is Sriram. So welcome Sriram.
Hi Rishabh, thank you for having me.
And Sriram, can you tell our viewers in which company you have got placed?
Yeah, so I got placed in Entity Data last September with EdYoda itself, and it's been a year actually. Yeah, 24th September was my joining date, and it has been a good year, a good company. So,
and
yeah.
While from EdYoda, which program did you study?
I went for the data science program, and I got placed in the 6th month of the program.
And can you tell our viewers, since now you have already got placed in Entity Data, how was the actual the interview process? How many stages were there, so that anyone who is also going to give interview in Entity Data, they get a little bit of idea of what is going to happen.
Alright, so my interview wasn't the authentic interview one would face. Initially, I had the aptitude round, so I had to clear that initially, and further I had one interview round.
So this aptitude is for how long? Is it 1 hour test?
So it varies from company to company. Before Entity, I had given aptitudes for 4 or 5 companies. So it is usually within the range of an hour to 3 hours. Not more than 3 hours.
In Entity Data, how long was it?
It was for I think 2.5 hours.
Okay, and we get general type of questions, or how is it like?
See, it is as per my experience, it is some companies demand quantitative aptitude along with some coding knowledge, some technical knowledge, and for Entity it was pure technical. All they wanted was they wanted to test how good your technical knowledge is, and it was basic programming questions based on different languages, C, Java, and some web development questions as well. And to top it off, they added a programming question as well, and it is basic, a small code itself. You can code in any language you like, and you have to fulfill all the test cases. That's all.
So that was the first round. After that,
correct. Yeah. So this is where it was a complete different experience for me. This is where it gets tricky. The interview round was not the conventional interview one usually faces. For me, it is all the interviews I have sat, they ask me questions about programming concepts, about different languages, and different concepts in the programming paradigm we have. But in Entity, all the interviewer was testing was how technologically sound I am, because he also knew that I am a fresher to begin with. So all he wanted to see was how I could grasp anything he presents in front of me, and how I am able to answer or tackle whatever is presented. So initially, while I was pursuing my data science course in EdYoda, I was also freelancing in digital marketing. So he wanted to see as to what my knowledge is with technology, as to do I know some terms which he's referring to, and what do I do on a daily basis in the freelancing job I had. So it was that, and then he asked me as to what all languages I know, what have I learned in EdYoda, because I told he got to know that I have come through this program of mine. So until that time, we had just begun with machine learning. So he just asked me what machine learning is, and he asked me a basic question as to what exactly is done in machine learning, because and how would you go about if given a problem. He did not want me to specifically tell that how do we go about this, but he just wanted to see if I'm going in the right direction. So usually in an interview, people will ask you, what is threading, all these big terms, the jargons and all people will use. But all they wanted an entity was to see that if I'm able to, speak the right way and move forward in the right direction and think the right way. So that, and then I had that interview. It went for an hour, and then he asked me based on my college experience since I had done engineering, he asked me as to, is there something that I had done different than the rest of the college in my colleges. So I gave him a few stories as to what I had done and how my experience was in college, and that's all. That's how the first interview went. And then suddenly next day I got a call asking that they gave me an assignment with a few questions, which was very simple. They just wanted to see if I know some basic coding, like very simple coding. So they gave me a CSV, and they asked me to perform a few operations based on that, and I could do it. And then based on that I had an interview again. So they asked me as to what I did and how I did, and then and there itself the interviewer asked me another question, based on the CSV he had given. He wanted to see if I'm able to tackle that question. He asked me to share my screen and Google if I want, because honestly speaking, nobody knows anything working forward. All people do is Google, right? So he just wanted to see if I'm Googling the right way. And I did, and I got the solution he asked for. And that is how I landed the job. Did I say that wrong? Was this right? And all that. But at the end of the day, I am fortunate that I did not get any of the jobs before that, because this is probably the best I think I could get, because I am really liking my job. I'm liking the team I'm working with.